Good morning. Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar today with JTrader, Stocks Trader. We do this every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Is the time for our advanced webinars. Joseph will come in a little bit later, usually in about 10 or 15 minutes, not 20, but and he's going to go through how he trades, how he reads the market and order flow, and then trades from and making decisions from Bookmap and order flow, and learn about not only his strategies and setups, but how he manages his trades, his entries and exits, and his outlook and psychology on the market as well. You guys know who JTrader is. He's been with us for quite a while, and really great performance with his trading. I do have his contact information. I'll put this in the chat so you can reach out directly to him if you're interested in mentorship from JTrader or some of his other services here. So look for that in just a minute. Let's go through the disclosures and then we'll jump into the live markets. I'll go through some live forward-looking analysis for right now, and then Joseph will come in and start to look at his stock setups and trades. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look at this S&P. It's all over the place this morning. As you guys can see in here, sideways market so far for the day since about 6 a.m. And then here's the cash open, and it's just all over the place. We're still around this 38.50 level. That was a target yesterday, and we went quite a bit above it as well, back up into about 70, almost 75 yesterday. So let's take a step back. Let's look at our higher time frame candlestick chart and see what's going on here. All right, so here's our daily. We talked about this, guys. We've been doing this for quite a while, extrapolating the data from these higher time frames and understanding them as order flow. Even a daily chart, a weekly, a monthly, it does not matter. It is all order flow. It is all an auction on all time frames. There's just a lot more going on in here. There's geopolitical, there's data, economic events, there's all sorts of things. Yet it comes down to it, the market works based on supply and demand and understanding the auction and the amount of orders in that auction. And that's where Bookmap can come in really handy to understand those orders from the most binary sub-second level on up to these higher time frames. So the order flow here on this chart was pretty simple, right? We're in a downtrend here. We see this reversal pattern. We see this big wick and rejection, a little back and forth in here, but the buyers had won out. We were looking at this potential move up into here. I don't know, was it beginning of the week or last week? Friday, I think, maybe coming up in this 30, somewhere between like this kind of 3800 to 3815 or 20. And then if it can make it through and bust out from that area, the next level we're looking for is right about here, which is 3882. All right, and if we can still find more buyers, then this is where the selling pressure came in. It's up here a little bit higher at 3925, let's call it. Okay, so these are the levels. This is where we can see selling pressure taking the market down, back and forth, buying pressure come in. All right, well, how much buying pressure do we have? That's what we want to gauge in here. So let's go over now to the hourly chart. Well, pretty strong move in here. and then the continuation. Here's the hour today for the cash session right here, this candle, and then on the 15-minute chart. So we can see the strong move from yesterday. This is a beautiful flag pattern, guys. A strong move up, pullback, and we're looking at, you know, more buying pressure starting to come in here, and they just push through at the end of the day here on the hourly. The 15-minute chart. All right, so strong move. Here's the end of the day yesterday, cash session, pretty strong pullback, and then it opened up down here, right about here, just below these swings, guys. This is why we look at these areas in here in the order flow, these little areas where there was a pause and a breakout, retest, and then a breakout. Now we're down retesting below those areas, and then here's the gap in here. It's already been filled, and we're still finding more buying pressure in here. Okay, so that's interesting. All right, so if there's still more buying pressure in here, where might they go? Okay, well, we see the wick came up to here, to 61, 38.61, and we've gotten a pullback so far. Well, if there's still more buying pressure, how about coming back up into this 68 area or 70 like yesterday, somewhere around in here, right? On this 15-minute chart at this time right now, that is the main or primary scenario we're looking for. Okay, if we come back up here, this is going to be a double top on a smaller time frame, retesting this area, and we're going to look in the order flow. Is there more buyers up here? Are there more buyers? Are they going to take it higher? If not, we're looking for a retest right back down to 38.50. That's the secondary scenario here. Okay, so we're understanding order flow here on these time frames. Let's look at Bookmap. Here's our double top. Okay, we knew that was going to be a double top. Now what's the order flow telling us? Well, buyers in here. Are we getting a lot of buyers up here? No, we're not. I see a lot of selling up here. All right, so let's see these sellers take it down to about maybe 52 or 50. Okay, look at the offer as well. They're on the offer here. Okay, and we're looking for sellers to take it down and trade into this liquidity here. Guys, it's really as simple as that. Now this play is playing out pretty nicely, and we need to see if we get follow through here. But it is just a very simple read there. Okay, just based on the order flow in here. Okay, we know the order book and the transactions in here. All right, so well, now we got to go through that other scenario in here too. Okay, we saw sellers up here, so we're looking for the continuation down into 52 and 50. What if we come back up here and we get buyers? Lots of them. Like these big red dots up here, we want to see big green dots, even bigger green dots up here. Okay, then we're going to go back with our primary scenario on this 15-minute chart. This will be the triple top, and we'd be looking for, if we get buyers up here, we're looking for the breakout up into, well, we'll call it 70. Okay, up into here. All right, so these are the two scenarios that we're looking at here. Any questions on that? It's good morning, Tony. Wet and rainy in Kauai. Yeah, it's kind of foggy and wet here as well in New York. Anyway, Joseph should be in pretty soon. I don't know if we'll have time to see this, if this scenario plays out or not. One of these scenarios here. Okay, more selling coming back in. Now we can also read this order flow and this move in here. We mark these up all the time, and compare this move here on the buying and this move here on the selling. Seems like there's more sellers in here, right? And also on the double top up here, there's more sellers up here. Okay, so we're coming back down. I'm still not seeing sellers here, but we're looking for them for that primary scenario on this short time frame here. Looking for our sellers and try to reach back down into 52.5 and then 50. Okay, more sellers. All right, sellers, you got it wide open here. Let's see if you can push it now. 52.50. Look at this liquidity that just came in here around 46. So maybe we can get a move down there, which coincides with the bottom of this range in here. So Fane, welcome. Totally new to Bookmap. What's the difference with MBO? MBO stands for market by order data. It is more data that you're receiving. It's from the CME group futures in this case. That is their name. They put it. It could be order by order from another exchange or market by order. And it can show you also position in queue, right? So right now in the COB column or in our current order book, this is showing you the amount of contracts here at each price level. Well, you can also see the number of orders at each price level. We don't have that right now here in Bookmap, and we kind of bypassed that whole position in queue thing. Instead, we went right to stops and icebergs because we found that with this information, we can derive when icebergs are transacting and also when stops are transacting. And we have this context between the two. Okay, guys, see how like we're looking for sellers, but we came through this scenario in here. If we can get our buyers in here, we're going to get our breakout. Okay, this is our triple top, and I'm looking for them now. I'm looking for buyers in here. We just tested up here. We're finding some. Let's get another retest up here. More buyers in here. I would be looking for the move into 65 and potentially 70 pretty quickly. It would also means that we have some sellers in here. That would be a stop run to the upside, and it should be a good one. Okay, so all of these sellers in here will be compelled to be buyers up in here. All right, so still hasn't played out yet, but we're looking for it. And let's see it, buyers. You've totally got it here. Not yet. Not yet. Might have to dip down to find more more buyers at a lower level. Oh no, here we go. Okay, we're going to get it here. So looking for our 65, 67, and 70s levels here. Okay, good volume coming in. Okay, now we went through two different scenarios in here. We immediately thought, well, there's sellers up here. We're finding more sellers come in. We're looking for the drop lower. It didn't go into our 50 level here, or 50, kind of 52.5, 53 here. We were looking for a bit lower than that though. Matosh, good morning. Oh boy, good morning. Good morning, everybody. And well, still no follow through on that buy side in here. Still looking for it though. And I've got this up a little too big here. Okay, we did get a stop run here. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. Now this is after 10 o'clock here. Obviously this is some data in here. Guys, you can note how it's data just by looking at the order flow here. Look at them pull liquidity before 10 a.m. and then start to add back in right around here. Okay, and then the heat map, see how it's dark in here. All right, sellers still coming in, still finding some sellers in here. Yeah, just to let you know, like I would have been in this in here. I'd be looking for that breakout. I would have been stopped out for a small loss on this one. Okay, but it's just what I'm looking for. I've seen it happen enough. You know, I'm also very aware that this may happen. We may have to come all the way back down into this liquidity down here and then bounce back up and come through some of these upper areas here. We've seen that so many times, and when you start to see that buying strength come in here, you can look for retest back up to here and then follow through to the upside. Okay, but at least I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this to play out, and it just is bashing around in here. Okay, so anyway, you know, it's up to your style of trading. If you're, you know, looking for breakouts and continuation and the order flow is telling you something, or are you a pullback trader and looking for something like this and then looking for those buyers to come back in like this and then back up into 65, 70? Okay, so this now that scenario is playing out pretty nicely here. I'm looking for it here up into 65. Okay, from 60 to 65 here.
I think we're ready to go. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Joseph. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Thank you for the presentation. I was looking at, I was listening to what you were saying. Totally agree.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't agree with me. You don't take breakouts. You say they're sucker trades.
No, I like breakouts, but I wait for the pullback. So if I look at the breakout, I love them. So like Microsoft just now at 233, but I wait for the first pullback to enter long. So
Yeah,
I don't like to enter right on the breakout because this market is, just look at it as this morning, for example, this market is like trapping a lot of retailers.
yeah.
So I always prefer to enter on the breakout on a pullback.
Okay. So there you go, guys. I would have had a small loss on this. I would have been back in this, though, and looking to take some off maybe at 65, but I'm still looking for 70. So two totally different ways of trading. Order flow reading is basically the same, but just two totally different ways of managing it. And that's based off of my own fear of missing out, I believe, but my own weakness there. Joseph, let me stop jabbing and jabbering here and give you the screen here so that
Okay.
we can go over your stuff. Okay, you're all set to go.
All right. Good morning, traders. First of all, today, before starting with the market, with the trading, let me just explain you 2 seconds one setup that I see recurring in this market. So being that we trade small caps or big caps or even futures, this is what the market is generally doing in a market like this. And I just want to share with you a few key points so that when today I'm going to explain the setups, you're going to know exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm a day trader. So besides looking for runners or main gap down plays, I look for levels where I see a lot of liquidity stacked. In this case, you can see a stock over here with a lot of liquidity stacked at 3.50. But again, the same pattern this morning happened on Google and Microsoft, which were the main plays that I was watching. We see over here another main key area at 320. We see another main key area over here at 276, 275. And above, we see a main key area at 4. So all of these levels are called heat map, as you know right now. The more this heat map is rejected with speed, so the faster is the rejection in this market, I'm talking about October 2022, the higher chance of a better unwind, vice versa for the bounce. So what do I mean by that? If you look at the first example over here, you can see that we have a spike and right away we reject instantly from the area of heat map at 350. Also 350, you have to consider $0.50 number. We have over here the pre-market low in this case. And you see that right away after that rejection, we start making lower highs. So this is a very good sell-off. How to recognize it? You see an instant rejection from that area. And again, the same thing happens on the long side. For example, this morning, we had same setup on Microsoft and Google. The same pattern over here happens around 30 minutes later on at this heat map at 320. So you can see we had a bear flag over here, is that right? Plus a very fast short rejection. And then over here, we have the last one that doesn't react instantly from that level, but you can see some consolidation and dump. So the main point in this market, especially because we're generally seeing a bear market, all of these stocks in the last 6-7 months, they're basically unwinding. Besides, Tesla over here, the last 4 days gapping up and pushing. But otherwise, all these levels are main rejection to short. So let's get into today's market. So today we had earnings on Microsoft. So we had a gap down play. We had earnings on Google. We had a gap down play. We have Tesla, which is running a little bit. So 227. I put over here a swing alert a few days ago. I also posted on my Twitter account on the 20th that 180 to 200 would be main level to long Tesla for a swing, but this was, I said, a personal entry level. Now we're getting 228 and 50. My first target is 235 and then 250. Let's see if we're going to have it. Now, having said this, remember what I just said, right? The faster is a rejection and a bounce, the stronger the move, and the best for this market, October 2022. So this is Tesla. I'm gonna first focus over here on a daily chart. So to show you the price action that we had in the last weeks. The reason why I called 180 and 200 is because we have a main level of demand into this area. So you can see that back over here, 2020, we had a main support between 180 and 200. The same happened over here mid 2021. So also in March and then in May, June. And then over here, we got a few days ago on the 20th to this level here. So remember, faster the bounce, the better the we say, and the lower risk the entry. Over here we had a fast washout that day. So we had an incredible fast wash just into a bookmap level. We breached the bookmap, we failed, right away bounce. Now, this was a main demand area. So it's not only because we had a bookmap intraday, but we had also my JLens weekly. We had also a main level of demand from years. Okay, this is a yearly demand zone. All right, so we go back at end of 2020. So we have more than one parameter over here for us to decide that this is a good pattern for long. I said specifically that this is not a setup for everybody. And I said this is my personal long swing. Because if you long in these patterns, all right, so if you long over here for a swing, you have to consider that you will have like a wider spread, all right? Because if I enter into the area of 180, 200, so I will start with a partial at 190, for example, 195, and then another partial 180. I'm always referring to an intraday chart like this 1 minute over here that we can see on soon on Tesla and on Bookmap to have the timing of my entry. So over here, just to explain what I was looking at, Tesla until market hold, this is my plan for swing. And this I sent on the 20th. So personal layer to buy 180, 200. This is the first alert that I give for a swing since last year on Tesla. Since last year. This is the first one, right? Because the market basically have been bearish for all this time. So if you look at Tesla over here, this year, actually from November, since the Bitcoin started like to dump, we had lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So we have this channel. We can put over here like this. We have a bearish channel, right? So you can see rejection from this high, support, rejection from this lower high, support. And then over here, we are in the mid-range. And that's the reason why I said that. That's the first level for me to buy on this fake breakdown. So main bear trap and now push. Let's get back what happened today. So today we start having first wash, right? You can see over here that the price like dump very early, bounce over here around 9:30, dump over here in the first few minutes, and then we start having a reversal. This is on a tick chart. Looking at the 1 minute, we can put this. Okay. Looking at the 1 minute, this is what happened. Fast wash. This is 9:31. Reversal, 9:32. And 9:32 happened this. You can see over here that they start like breaching to the downside these heat map levels. So there's a ton of liquidity over here stacked. This liquidity is huge. It's not just like a level of heat map like we can see over here that often they absorb and then they continue to push it all the way up. This was a main level, all right, main level of demand. And once we start seeing over here a bounce, first one, it then fails. First one and then fails. The level that you have to look for is the open level. That is your crack area. So this green line you see over here that you can see on my chart, that line, 219 and 40, 219 and 50, this is the area for your under over. All right. So if you know how I trade, this is a specific trade pattern that I like. Generally, I take them on a gap up or when we're in a strong uptrend. This stock in a strong uptrend, this is the under over pattern. And this is what I see on Bookmap. Main support. So I'm not really the type of trader buy something when it's fading. No, I don't buy like falling knives. I'm waiting for that reclaim of a certain level. For example, this open level, also VWAP and also J lines. So I have three structures together telling me to go long for this. All right, so this is the main point for Tesla today. Now, I'm not over here planning to short, but only to look for possible reads for my swing. What I'm looking for, again, you can see over here this dip. Unfortunately, we didn't get exactly into it. Otherwise, this would have been a perfect level to enter or to add a position. And over here, we have this strong consolidation. All right, this is the 935 till 950. So we are talking about this area here, you can see. And where this area goes, exactly into this pivot. All right, so you can use pivot and fibs to help you out with your trade. Now we have another main consolidation in the last hour over here from 940 till now 1040. So what I was saying before to Bruce, I agree with him. I love the breakouts. So I'm looking for this breakout, but that doesn't mean I will enter on a breakout trade. So I will wait for the break of 228 and 50. We'll watch this together. And if we break the 228 and 50, I want to see a first dip or a consolidation and then longy. Now, I said a few minutes ago, the faster a dip into a support, so let's say this would be the heat map, the faster the dip, the better my long. So if I see right away a bounce, that is my long. And this long would need to happen exactly this 229 or 229 and 20, this area here. So by showing this, often in the room they say, wow, you predict what happened. No, it's not I predict what happened. I just have like experience of years of price action and chart patterns, and I'm focusing on that chart pattern. If that happens, I simply wait that my chart pattern or my level is hit. So I don't like to chase. I'm not that fast. I traders in my room are much faster, are scalpers, are, in and out. I just prefer to prepare my plan, wait for the plan, and then execute, or even have like, preset orders for the level to trade. Okay. Hope I made myself clear, but if you have questions, just please reach out. So this is what's happening right now on Tesla. So if you see over here, I agree with a lot of you traders that tell me, Jay, I really don't understand anything about this. No, you have to look at the key areas. So the key area in this case, zoom out, you can see there's big, this one, 230. Okay, that's the main catalyst. Why? The majority of the liquidity is stacked over here. Like this morning, the majority of the liquidity was stacked over here to 217. So use Bookmap as a guide, as a tool. This is your first main area of support. And this area was over here between 217 and 218. So we're going to make an average. And then we have this resistance at 230, 229. So 230, 229. Okay, these are our magnets. Is it clear, traders? I'm going to post this in the Discord room over here. So Caesar.
No questions yet.
Let's see over here, Bookmap Discord room. I'm going to put over here under advanced Discord room. Let's see. There we are.
Yep. So guys on YouTube, you'll have to come over to the Discord for that. It's easier to post in there under advanced webinar.
Yeah. Often we share trades over there as well, like executions and everything. So there's a lot to learn. Now, this price action over here, you can see a lot of buying pressure. We have a set of higher lows. So technical analysis would be an ascending triangle over here, or maybe ascending wedge, but very similar. Let's see for the 228.50 breakout. And then we're going to look for those dips to long, in this case, to add to a swing position. So still buyers over here in. See the curl, we're breaking the 228 and 30. Meanwhile, Microsoft gave us a perfect entry today, long a couple of perfect entries after we're going to review by playbook. So breakout of the 28 and 50. This is the breakout, right? So this is what I don't want to trade. So we have 76,000 shares at 229 and 106,000 shares at 230. Now what I'm looking is for the price to consolidate over here or breach this 229, fast dip, still want to see the heat map, and then taking the long position, right? So you know exactly what I'm looking for. If I don't have that set up, all right, we're going to revisit this at 230 or in a major pullback. So bars in, you can see these peaks in volume on the breakout. Microsoft is 235 right now. So rising over here. Google is giving a breakout. This morning had the 97 and 55 resistance. So I will check that. Right over here. All right, now we are above the 229. But you can see, traders, I don't see that heat map right now, okay? So I'm gonna wait. If I have this big heat map over here, let's see, for the volume that is trading, place 5, 10,000. 10 would be best. Fast dip and then bounce to or long. So we need a little bit of pullback or consolidation and then taking the long. So patience on this. Bruce, I just love that one of my friend, also traders, just wrote me that he's a big cap guy. So he prefers master trade big caps than small caps, especially in this market. And it's true. I mean, easier setups, trendier stocks, very, very easy to trade something today like Tesla, but I would say Microsoft, simply incredible. So we had two plans this morning. One plan was to short in case of a Jalen rejection, happen over here. We long in these dips over here on the fake breakdown, and this is also an A+ setup for a long side. So 3 main setup for the morning. A lot of traders took this over here, this fail, and this first long. This is the market in big cap. So a lot of volatility. Microsoft over here, you can see traders my fibs. So I place my fibs from this high to the low over here. Actually, I was looking at resistance a few weeks ago. This morning we are like breaching the 38%, the 50%, and then still going higher. So I'm going to show you how to trace fibs. So there are two main ways over here that I like to trace fibs. What I'm looking at, or at least what I was looking at this morning, was this main relative high to this low. So I was looking over here for the fibs. And over here we're breaching the 50%. 61% would be at 238 and 78% would be at 243. Okay, let's go back to Tesla. Until we don't find that support, traders, that heat map, that fast bounce, no trade long for me. Google is rising strong. So when I say a fast bounce, remember what I said before is exactly this. Is exactly this. Is exactly this. So those are the long patterns, all right? Bruce, make sense, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is what I'm looking for on Tesla. So we need to stalk it right now to see if we have that major play. But I want to see exactly that 229 over here. So right now we have Google coming up, following ES, big leading guide. Microsoft into a resistance over here, 237 and 30. Microsoft came up 5 points in the last 20 minutes. 5 points. Okay, first dip into 229. No major support, no major heat map over here. So need to wait. Pearl over here on Tesla for now. Let's wait. Let's look at Microsoft. So this is the last now 15 minutes of Microsoft from 232 till 237. So if you look at this pattern, it's pretty easy. I will try to explain like this. This morning, we had a consolidation of the support area, which is a 38% fib on the daily, right? So a very important area. After 10:15, so after the first 45 minutes, you can see the price over here becoming green and holding green, right? So starting to consolidate above this level. And then over here, giving the timing, exactly this is the bar for entry from the system, 232 and 70, with a stop just below and just simply right at the trend. All right, so perfect pattern. Right now, can I long over here? No, too extended, all right? So we will need to see a pullback and waiting for that. This is 237 and 40, the pre-market high, simply waiting for now. We're starting to put over here some liquidity traders. I would like a dip over here to 229 now, Tesla. Let's see if we can have it. So this 229.05, that's exactly your entry, risking 10 cents maximum. So 229.5. This is a long pattern Tesla with 10 cents risk. And we're looking at least to trim something at 230. Okay, only to pay ourselves. But remember what I said. I explained this 10 times before the pattern that we just had. If we have a fast dip into the 229, we have the heat map. You're gonna take the long, it's gonna have a long setup. And what I said, 10 cents risk. Right now you are already 5 times R. Now you can put even your stop break even. So you have risk 0. So let's see the price, if it's gonna rise to 230, first target. 229 and 70. We have a lot of liquidity at 230. So remember, it's gonna be like a magnet today. All right, so it will attract the price. So remember, this is an add to the swing. So you want to hold partial position if you're holding a swing. But if you have your first entry, so our first entry is over here, exactly this 229.05, over here at 230, sell half of your position if you're trading intraday, okay? Intraday, sell half at 230 over here on Tesla. Now you have your 10R return trade. So this is how you have big wins. Now it's time to trail. So we're going to trail at 229 and 70. And we're going to look now for 235 as main target. Let's see. But that's already your trade. 10-hour return from our bookmap level, 229, 229.05, 229.10. We got a 230 and 40. We were risking 10 cents. Now we're going to look for multiple R. If this is going to still extend, we can have the main target for swing is 235. Okay. Now possibly going to have some pullbacks before the 225. This is the price action. This is the breakout. So before, remember what I was saying, I'm not looking to enter on the breakout because often we have fake outs. I will be looking for consolidation and the fast dip into what? Into that 229. Exactly happened over here. So I explained this like 15 minutes before the trade, exactly explaining what you were looking for. I said 229, look for Bookmap over there, look for the fast bounce, look for the dip, exactly what happened. And this is what I do every single day trading.
Yeah, that's your one of your main strategies, your pullback.
Yeah. Because you have basically a low risk, Bruce. So it's not, only about the win rate or the R return. It's also about the risk. For me, the risk is the most important thing. So you will see a lot of the traders that I teach, they may have like, slower profit curves. So maybe some traders like, they're getting rich faster. But the point is that a lot of the traders I teach, almost no one will have big drawdowns if it follows the strategy. And that's for me super important. So entering over here with a 10 cents risk using that book map allows you to have 10R. I mean, that's already your trade for the day. And of course, there's a lot of study behind. There's a lot of price action learning. There's a lot of things you have to learn before to trade like this. But that's the main play.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen you just do it time and again. Yeah, very, very consistent.
This pattern over here, Bruce, I think we can have the 235. This is the hourly chart. And this is going back 1 year. So I was looking over here for, of course, this first previous resistance that we broke right now. But I was looking for this area over here, this 235 area. We go back, as you can see, to this main relative low. So I was looking for this target. Also here we have a pivot. So ideally we can have that level for a target. So we'll see.
What are these floor trader pivots or something proprietary?
Yeah, pivot points, exactly.
Okay.
So very easy how to set. I made even a video like years ago explaining how to use pivots. So just go check traders. I set them to day over here. Generally, I look at mostly R2, R3, and S2, S3. So I'm not looking too much at the R1 or the S1, so resistance 1 or support 1. But you can see over here how they work. Now over here we have the 234. That is the least important pivot for me. For me, the most important is this and this over here. What I like this level is because we have this main previous low. This is why I'm looking 235. So we'll see. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So what we want to see over here is that they hold these supports, right? So these higher lows. And then they start breaking again the 230.50 and then giving us more higher lows. Meanwhile, ES is pulling back, so careful over here. Microsoft also pulling back. I'm gonna put 1 second Microsoft over here. Let's see if we have a rejection. Yeah, in this case, you see no rejection over here from this 235, no rejection from the 236. Once they hit the 237, we had a fake breakout and then a little bit of consolidation and lower highs. Not looking to short something like Microsoft over here. Pre-market high is 237 and 34. What I'm looking is only for now trend following. Tesla. That's it. Still volume in.
Maybe I know you've done it in the past, Joseph, but explain a bit about like your pullback and why you're looking for it. I think it might be interesting because I've explained many times, like for example, I'm looking for the breakout and for it to work right now. It should, and due to the order flow. And then, but you are waiting for that move to unfold, and then you know that there's going to be a pullback, and then you want to get in.
Yes. So there are two main reasons. I will put over here a blank chart, like you can see in this this black over here panel, and I will draw a trend. So this is our trend, and then we have a consolidation, and then after this consolidation, let's say this is an important daily key area. This is our level of resistance. Everybody will be looking for the breakout. So we're going to put two possible scenarios. One scenario is this. So one scenario is what we call the bull trap. So is this an unwind. And this is what in a market where we have a bear market, because since the start of the year, SPY, Q, ZS, they're all unwinding, besides, few weeks during the year where we had like a bounce. So in a bearish market, buying breakout is double difficult, twice difficult than in a bullish market. That's the first point. The second one is what I look for. I'm looking for a breakout, and if we start consolidating over here, then I'm looking to buy over here with a tight risk. And exactly what we did today on Tesla. So that's the reason for me to start looking for breakouts. All right, so we run a scanner to filter out the breakouts because I will be looking at them. But then I will filter only with these setups over here. The other breakouts, like we had on Netflix the day of the earnings, remember it was last Wednesday, if I remember correctly, I don't want to say something wrong. But it happened that main stuff at the pre-market high, everybody was looking for a break on Netflix and then unwinded. So that's the main reason. So scanning for breakouts is fine. Looking for breakout levels, wait for a consolidation on a first main dip on Bookmap. Bookmap is my timing with that because it gives me that high liquidity as safety for my entry. So you can see as over here, as a before, this this 229 was my safety, and risking 10 cents from there. We got 239, 239.05, 239 and 10, and we had a push over here straight up to 230 and 40. So make your risk reward. We're talking about 10R on this push. 10R. 10R trade. So now, right now, what we had, let's go back. Pull back. That's the reason why I say trail 229 and 70. This level over here after the higher high, the higher low. Trail over here. And now what we're going to wait, again for this level of support. 228 and 50. This area. Why? Because it was the breakout area. So on a major pullback, we're going to see if this is holding, and we can look for another dip and long, or simply avoid. This is a nice pullback, straight from 230 and 50 to 220 and 50. 7 minutes to lose over here 2 points per share. Let's see if 228 and 50 will hold. For now, no reason to enter, only 2,000 shares over here. So not enough catalyst for me for taking a partial long. Wait over here. Breakdown of the 228 and 50. Also pull back on ES, same exact style, Microsoft, Google, all the same. This is not a long setup for me, despite if it bounces or not. The Microsoft over here. Microsoft has a main support inside 235, so this is much better in terms of size of support over here. It's 235, so nice bounce. But again, we're looking at Tesla. Tesla's not giving the same, didn't give over here the same support, came after, so no play to re-add. Google was the other one of today. So had a pullback over here, but no major heat map, so avoiding, only take the A+ setups. Yes, over here going to the highs. Let's go back on Tesla. So you see, traders, this was the first main pattern we got. And in this case, you can see that we got like 1.40 bucks per share. No A plus setup over here this low, despite we had, you know, the breakout level over here, but no easy re-entry. So waiting for now. Yes, breakout. So this will fuel this to the push to the upside. And what I'm looking right now would be again a push above the high of the day, consolidation, same pattern as we saw before at 229, and then looking for another possible long in the same way we did.
Yeah, that's something, Joseph. I really like the way you look at these trades. And okay, great bounce. You drew it up and everything here, and here it's working out great. But you missed it, and so what? Is your kind of the attitude you have is like, I'm not looking for it. It's not A plus. It's not exactly what I want. You're passing and just looking for the next thing to unfold.
Exactly. I mean, there will be always, you know, missed trade and missed opportunity, and so what. There will still be so many opportunities coming up in the same day or following day. So don't really, you know, think too much. It's just like, you know, another play, another play, another play, another play. The point is not to take all the plays. The point is to trade good, and not even to make money, to trade good. Money is a consequence. Okay, so just trade good. Over here, let's look for this level of 230.50. I will stay with that. And a consolidation above a dip. So we have already a 230 over here. I'm looking for 230.50. So this relative high, a breakout of that area, a bounce or consolidation, and then again another long in the same way that we did over here. Now, time of the day, 11. So I would like downsize, right? Until 11, you can have like your full size if it's a strong market. After 11, I would downsize. So in case of a loss, you'll still have, you know, a decent green day. Part of, you know, risk management. Nothing. Wash over here. So nothing. A lot of traders, Bruce, I think today they lost quite a bit trading epics. So small caps are pretty slow the last weeks. And this is because we are in a earnings season. It's always like that, is recurring. Epics over here, we have a high institutional ownership. It went up more than 70% today. 38 million market cap, 17 million float. Volume traded is twice the float, so we're talking about 39 million. This morning, I had a stop 2 cents on this. So this is where I alerted 228, and we set the stop over here at exactly this point, 230. And I said, after this moment, wait only for a major clear out, which never happened. It never happened to occur. The levels that you see over here in yellow are main daily resistances. So you could see that we breached those daily resistance with a lot of volume. So volume over here increasing. We had over here a first parabolic move. Over here we had a higher high with some body divergence, but that's not enough to take the trade. We had some stuff, but no major A+ setup over here on Epix. So in this point for me, and I said it very clearly, also wrote it, this was a good setup to trade at that level of high, risking 2 or 3 cents, and then nothing more. This is the daily chart. So we can see a stock that beaten down stock went from 36, small market cap, remember we're talking about 35 million, down over here to $1.50, 1.40. Today is gapping up, is pushing. We breached all the previous major resistances. So this level over here, which was 320, so now we're looking for possibly this 365, 370 area, 365, 370 area. That would be the main relative high. Not a really high volume trade in the past, no major A+ setup. So why to force it if we don't have an A+ setup? Epix over here on Bookmap. The level that we were trading was this 228, and you can see there was a Bookmap heat map at that point, stop of a couple of cents. Then you can see that we had high liquidity moving up, no major resistance above, a little bit over here. But again, even that's a reason, not something that had a ton of liquidity stacked, high volume, high institutional, so no major point for me to take the short. Over here, now I'm looking at this pattern, three-way pattern, possibility of a wash. Let's see if they're gonna wash it. So below 315. So check traders 315 over here for a possible wash, or in case, and remember, thesis 2, fake breakdown 315, right away reclaim spike 350 push. Right. So we have over here on Epix a high percent IO. Risk management was, I would say, perfect on this. And now we could have a 315 washout and TP 295 VWAP, or thesis 2. We can have a fake breakdown, so a bear trap, right? And those are the best longs in this market, bear trap of 315, then push to 350. This is what I'm looking for, Epix over here. I want to check a little bit in the past what happened, but I don't really think we have a lot of information on Epix. Yeah, as we said, a high institutional, around 100% high institutional over here. This morning we had updated result from phase half study on prostate cancer. Yeah, history only one previous gap that faded with high of day 938, extension 36% from the gate, but totally different day. The volume traded day was 2 million. Over here we're talking about 39 million volume. So definitely another scenario. I will go back over here to Tesla, being that ES is going to that resistance at 38 and 90. So 38 and 90 over here, possible wash on ES right now. So start looking at ES, possible wash. So price right now is 38.87, possible wash to 38.80, 38.75 on ES, let's say. If this happens, would bring down also Tesla, Microsoft, and Google, which are following. So what we were saying before, the faster a rejection, right? The better the trade, the better the pattern. I'm watching ES over here, stalling to this 3880. Supply area as well. Yes, breaking out the 3890. Still no long pattern on Tesla. So as I said, we have to wait the breakout to 230.50 and then consolidation. Remember what I said, and main dip. So before Bruce, remember what we were talking about is that the breakouts, exactly that's the point. We had a break of 230.50, 230.50, fake out and wash. So that's the reason why I don't buy breakouts, but pullbacks, lower risk is my chance.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, what I really love about your strategy on your pullbacks is you already know it's moving, and you know there's going to be a pullback. So much higher probability, or just much more room for it to run after the pullback instead of
Yeah.
getting trapped on a breakout.
Yeah, because if the breakout is, I would say, strong, then on the pullback you will still have range to, to go for, to have a good win from it. But if the breakout is going to be, without volume, without really big intention, then it's good for us because we're going to be safe. And that's the reason for me. So, being safe uh, more than, trying and be instead like stuffed or in a fake breakout.
Yeah, one of the beauties is well, it could be like a flag pattern or something on the pullback, is that you are already, one of the main conditions you're looking for is it to be breaking the higher time frame, and it is outside of that area. You will not do that on the inside.
Exactly. Totally, exactly got the point. So, you can see a follow through to the upside. You can see more momentum coming.
Right, and you already know there's momentum in it, so you're just leaning on that and then looking for the move back up.
Yeah. The reason why I said that at this point, ES could give us a major pullback, I'm going to explain it over here. So we're having over here a major level of supply into this area, which is 3890, 3930 on ES. So you can see that we go back over here from from September 2022, where we had these dips. You can see the price over here started like to bounce. So in that case, we had a demand zone, shifted demand zone into a supply area. When they started like looking over here for bounces, instead we had the rejection. So of course, right now the price will get into that 38.90, 39, 39.20 area, and we can have main sellers joining for a possible unwind. Also, we had a first main pivot. We'll see, but that is a clear supply area. Supply area, which is of 30 points, all right? So even something more. So it's not that, 38.90 will reject, but this is a possible area of rejection of a main pullback to downside on ES. Go back over here to Tesla. Yeah, still holding this 90 MA, making higher lows, lower volume on Tesla. So for now over here, we have no setup. We're waiting our level. We're waiting our pattern. That's it. Big seller came in over here on Tesla. Just look at this, traders. It's 230. Major demand over here to 28 and 80, 229. Also some pullback over here on ES. Yeah, waiting for now the paddle. Let's see what happens this 230. Yeah, fast rejection. But I'm not shorting over here. I'm not touching this. Absolutely not. If ES will push, this 230 will breach, and we're going to have again high of day. You see in 2 seconds over here, traders, they ate 60,000 at 230. So understand the price action, understand the pattern. Making higher lows right now. Looking for a consolidation, as I said, 230, just like we said before, 229, right? We got 229 to 230, 40, 230.40. Now we're looking for 230.50, consolidation, first dip, and then long. Rather than this, no setup for us. Our nets, we are short over here from the pre-market, from the 155, 154 area. Epics, nothing right now. There's a high chances of breakdown of 315 and wash. Netflix rising. I was not looking and following Netflix today. We were trading mostly Google and Microsoft. And yes. Possibly over here is gonna curl. If the price will hold 29 and 80, it's gonna curl, let's see, on Tesla. No, stuffing instead. Yeah, let's wait. We have over here a small pullback on ES, basically on the fib level, 3887. Google pulling back, just waiting on Google. You see the main setup came in the J line, so no reason rather than that. Microsoft, the main setup came after the J lines, so rather than that, nothing. I mean, for the rest, we have to wait. So this was 10:30 on Microsoft. And this was the support on Microsoft at 10:30. Oh, same area. Nice when we see a major demand over here. So major demand zone, 232 and 232 and 50. And over here we see the entry timing on the demand zone. So we have, as I always said to Bruce, or he always said to us, we have two main confirmations. We have the bookmap over here giving us that this is a pretty big support area. And then we have the timing of the entry with the strategy. So combining both together. I will screen share this and put it in the chat under the stocks.
Yeah, a few questions in YouTube here. Guys, I sent the pricing information about Bookmap there. Just note that the pricing information does not include data. You will need data for stocks via DX feed or Omni feed. Then let's see here, another question, a few questions. Is this part of HFT? No, well, HFT is something, high frequency trading, like we can show it. I mean, if you are using your algos and with HFT transactions, actually that's our background. We came from that, and we developed Bookmap to show how our algos were performing. That's the whole basis of it. And then due to that, we showed this to other traders, this visualization, and they said, well, I'd buy that for a platform. So we made a platform out of it. Right? So that's the story. You can look at sub-second levels in Bookmap, but you can see this is working really well also in these higher time frames in the way that Joseph is trading here.
For now, we're gonna probably go back to the 228 and 50. So let's see if we're gonna have a pullback here on Tesla. Remember, traders, 228 and 50 is the breakout level. So this one over here. If we're gonna go back to this area and dip fast into a heat map, so exactly the same playbook we had at 229 before, we're gonna look for long, 10 cents risk, and that's it.
Abby, another question about how do you read the order flow in brief. I think it's probably best to look at some of the videos on YouTube as well as come to the advanced webinars. JTrader is going over his style here of how he's looking at the order flow within stocks. But in a nutshell, there's only three elements on this chart. There's the traded volume with the volume dots, the heat map, which is showing the liquidity on the offer and on the bid, both current and historical. And it's just context between these elements is reading the order flow.
Couldn't have said better. So I can tell you this. I'm a big reader of the tape. So I train a lot of traders on tape reading. But basically, have you ever tried reading the tape on, and that's the wash that we were looking for. Sorry, that's the wash we were looking on Epics. But basically, have you ever tried to look at 4 books simultaneously, while instead you can have Bookmap on 4 stocks or futures simultaneously? So you're gonna have like less headache and a faster read using Bookmap. That's the main point for me. Trading multiple assets, um, seeing more, looking for more patterns, and basically being fast in your trading decisions. This is so over here we had another push to this 2, 3, and 3 and 60. And what we said before, Bruce, the faster the rejection, the better. That's a super fast rejection. So these are only scalp trades for small cap traders, right? So this is really fast trading. High velocity trading is really this in and out. And that's your setup. High of day, 360, fake out, boom, dump. This is epics, all right? So we're talking about the small cap. All right, any more setup, Bruce? 11:30?
Let me take a quick look. Okay, yeah. No questions over on YouTube. Let's check out our Discord. Hold on. I think we're good. No, yeah,
Okay.
we're all good, Joseph. So yeah, very nice trading.
So one tip for you traders, if you're still going to be at your desk today, I would suggest you to look at Tesla, being that, we reviewed Tesla for the last 90 minutes. Study the price action that we're having today on this breakout, mainly day breakout. Look for the main patterns. Start looking and paying attention for this level of demand, as we have over here, 229. You can see this was coming up from 228 and 40, 60, and then 229. And start looking for patterns, all right? Study one stock every single day and look for the pattern that you have, the recurring patterns. Because Tesla is playing generally 3 or 4 patterns, in a week. And they're like, we say, both long and short. So very good read today on Tesla. Hope you learned. Reach out to me and Bruce if you need help, and thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joseph. We'll catch up with you next Wednesday.
All right. See you next week. Bye bye, traders.